Okay, thank you. Sorry, one second. I actually need to get this all fixed up. Appreciate the invite, Jeff. So I am here to talk about how people break into cyber and why that matters, and what if you're building teams or mentoring juniors can learn from it. So I'm Kaya. A little bit about me is that I used to live in Thailand for the first 7 years, so English is my third language. I've worked at two MSSPs as a SOC analyst on the 12-hour shifts, which was awful. But now I've moved to another impactful position at Cloudflare as threat response engineer, working with the Cloudforce One team. And if anyone's wondering as well, the background of the slide is Cloudflare's wall of entropy in London. So we have this in like every single office, but this particular one is powered by chaotic motion. Oh gosh. Powered by chaotic motion from the double pendulums to help generate cryptographic randomness. Um, so also with the Q&A, I also hope some of you can share any stories of how you broke into cyber, what helped you or what you would have changed, anything you think that would help anyone here looking to join or change paths. So cyber is full of non-traditional paths. I honestly fell into cyber. I didn't have any qualifications. All I had was GCSEs and a dream to get out of my job at Waitrose, cooking and cleaning ovens. But props to anyone who does though, because that was exhausting and almost as bad as the fourth night of my 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. shift. So I'm going to be talking about why non-traditional paths should matter to you if you're hiring or mentoring. The longer you're in cyber, the more you forget how chaotic it is to get started. So that creates blind spots when you're hiring, mentoring, or building teams. When you're in it long enough, you forget the panic of understanding the basics, the logs, endpoints, and acronyms everywhere. They don't speak seam yet. It's all just acronyms and chaos at the start. So breaking into cyber isn't linear. It's messy, random, and it's hard to get your foot through the door. I know I definitely felt that as well when I first joined. So my first resource was MITRE ATT&CK. As strange as it sounds, it's what helped me. It was like reading a dictionary. But people can learn through YouTube, CTF, or weird projects like setting up a Raspberry Pi as a DNS sinkhole, integrating a logging system, and then layering it into like a visualization with like elk. Um, my first interview, I could answer the foundational stuff, like what is a firewall, what's lateral movement. But I also showed that I could write basic KQL queries like filtering logs, finding failed logins, and using real world scenarios. From my feedback, this is what got my foot through the door. Um, my second interview, I built a website that triggered an automatic download of my resume. It looked like a drive-by, but it was actually just using the browser's native download attribute. So, also my third interview, which is at my current company, I went through 7 rounds of interviews, like seven, which was crazy, and one practical that I spent hours on analyzing and dispositioning the multiple emails. So every round I was thinking, like, this is the round that I'll be dropped and I'll have to start the whole process again. So I've spent most of my time as the only woman in the room. If you can hold your ground in a sock and in a bridge call, you can hold it anywhere. So sometimes it was isolating, but it was growth, and I held my ground more in a sock, found my voice, and let the results speak. But being a woman in cyber isn't just about representation, it's about difference, and difference is an asset. So different instincts, communication styles, and ways of thinking. Studies have consistently found diverse computing teams perform better and significantly more productive, creative, and staying on track compared to homogeneous ones. I know this is a large problem. A lot of people report on not just women, but being spoken over, I'm very, very grateful for where I've worked. If I get spoken over, I'll always hear a, yeah, Kaya, go on. But I've spoken over people and it is normal. So just like make sure to include those people who wanted to have a say. Fitting in doesn't really bother me at all. I've never really fitted in. Too brown for the English kids and too white for the Thai kids. It's all just character building though. Um, and now, like, I'm hoping to move internally to a woman-led team. It's exciting, and they're these strong, smart people that I really aspire to be. So forget fancy CVs. Look for curiosity. Do they chase rabbit holes? Stubbornness. Do they get frustrated and push through or just give up? Creativity. Do they think outside the box, find weird solutions? Humility. Not everyone, oh, sorry, are they willing to say, I don't know? As an interviewer, I didn't exactly look for what answers they got right, but how they worked out those answers. And that's the energy you want on a team. You want you don't want arguments, just debating. So what they won't have, don't expect them to know seam pipelines or endpoint architectures. They won't have your mental shortcuts or your mental workload. You are their shortcut. What helped me succeed? So some people took time to answer my questions, even when I threw a lot of questions at them. They didn't think any less of me, and I did think that they would think that, but they didn't. And they told me straight when I was off the track and guided me through everything. I learned, I was growing, and from every question answered, I was feeling more confident. And of course, when I taught my peers, I did the same. From this learning, I really thought a great way to teach was to praise questions. I'd first show like an alert, like an MFA, deny, go through the logs. And then once they're comfortable with the tools or what each log represents, they are tasked with doing it on their own. No question limits, no time pressures. Just let me know what you find, where they can go dig it out themselves and they do their own research. And I think that is really important. If you're a newbie in cyber, you don't have to be an expert, just be useful, score small wins, even if it's just finding a false positive because there was a recent update of a user agent. Build things as well, even random ones like my resume site or a query that can cut analysts' time in half. So outside of work, I spent time on App Annie Run, analyzing emerging threats and documenting them in a repo. It was a way to stay sharp and also hopefully giving back to the community. And I think it's paid off too, especially with the new role I have my eyes on. My final thoughts would be that be the one who replies to the Slack messages no one touches. That's how you make it easier for the next person. So be patient and focus on making them useful, not perfect. And whether you're learning, teaching, or whether you're learning or teaching, clear the path. The best hires won't look alike, but if they're a team player, they will grow faster into the team than you think. That's me done. So any questions or stories you guys want to share?